According to MarketResearch.com, there are approximately 40,000 motivational speakers in the United States. However, a majority of them know how to multitask because they don't make the majority of their income solely by giving speeches. They create content, whether it be online courses, webinars, or podcasts, not to mention the tried and true way of getting their message across by writing a book, all in an effort to expand the channels where their messages are received. Aaron Golub is a keynote speaker with quite the story to share. He became the first legally blind football player to participate in a Division I game and became a captain during his senior year. And now he creates impact by delivering speeches to conferences, consultants, sports teams, businesses, and more. He's now on a mission to help others build a brand through speaking, and he joined me this week to tell me more. I'm Kevin McShann. Let's have this conversation. A moment to welcome you to the program, and I'm super excited to learn how to help businesses and people build a brand through speaking. Great to see you this morning, and thank you for a few minutes before Turkey Day, my friend.
Yeah, sounds good.
So, yeah, absolutely. So, Aaron, tell me, how do you help people build a brand through speaking? I'm fascinated to learn all about what you do, buddy.
Yeah, so, my main background is, and I can get into my athletic career if we get there, but, I'm a speaker and an entrepreneur and a consultant. And so I work with companies, conferences, sports teams, schools all around the world through speeches, workshops, and long-term partnerships, sharing my message, my story, and talking on the topics that I really focus on. Through doing that, I realized also that, there's a handful of people out there who have, are speakers, but have no idea how to, actually truly build a brand doing it, have no idea how to actually get booked and paid to speak. And so, my team and I also, from time to time, work with a handful of people. We don't work with a lot. We work with a few. It's not my main business, but we work with a few people to really show them how to create the systems that I've created for myself that allow me to do lead generation, do marketing, do sales, to bring in that business and get yourself, on stages at different organizations and teams, whatever the best fit for you is.
Yeah, and I know it's a 5-step process, so I'm wondering if you could share just a little bit about how it works and what makes it successful, my friend.
Yeah, I think with anyone who, with anything, it's a lot of the part that makes it successful is if someone is willing to, put in the time and effort on their own. But that being said, I think it's really about flushing out the topics that someone wants to speak on and making sure that they are truly an expert in those areas, making sure that the topics that they speak on are the right fit for them, and then making sure that the audience that they're trying to speak to, is the right fit for not only them, but for those topics. I've seen a lot of people who, want to speak on a certain topic and their main focus is trying to speak at conferences, for example. And that's just, might not be the best fit. Whereas someone else who, let's just say wants to speak on another topic and wants to speak at companies, and it might not be a good fit, but maybe conferences are a better fit for them, or for the first person, maybe schools are a better fit for them. And so making sure that people understand what are their topics, where can they really add the most value, and what does the audience look like. After that, and dialing what that looks like, what their marketing materials look like, making sure that they have the proper channel set up for people to find them and see what they look like, ensuring that they set up certain systems to be able to do outreach. And so, that might be starting off with helping them set up their LinkedIn campaigns or their email outreach campaigns or whatever that looks like in the first channel, continuing to produce content and get their name out there, and then scaling by adding other channels and scaling the amount of, leads that you're trying to get in touch with.
Yeah, and I know that for you, creating pathways for individual companies and conferences, as you said, sports teams and uh, others who want to accomplish their goals is important to you. So I'm just curious to ask you what it means to you to certainly give people sort of the avenue to reach their own definition of prosperity. What does that mean to you personally?
Yeah, I think my biggest goals in life are to, make an impact and help other people, as well as, create a very large business and be successful and leave a legacy for myself. But I think when it goes to the impacting others, that's my number one goal. It's how can I make a difference? How can I impact other people? How can I help them improve their lives? Success is not linear. We all have different definitions of it. Success means very different things for everyone out there. Just because success in one area for someone doesn't mean that needs to be the same definition for you. And helping someone find what is the right fit for them, helping someone achieve those goals is really important, because when someone is able to implement the right strategies, implement the right tactics to accomplish their goals and get to where they want to go, they become happier, they become more successful, they become in this place where, their life just becomes more fulfilled when they're achieving what they, set out to do.
Yeah, absolutely. And let's, Aaron, now dive into your athletic background, because I know you became the first legally blind athlete to play football in a Division One game when you were at Tulane, buddy. And you were a captain your senior year. And I have to tell you, buddy, I don't know how much research you did on me, but I originally went to school to become a sports reporter, and I have cerebral palsy, so we have that synergy in common. So I'm curious to learn about your athletic background, buddy, and the impact it had on your life.
Yeah, playing football had an incredible background, incredible impact on my life. It allowed me to develop as an athlete, develop as a person, develop the confidence that I needed, and develop so many of these traits that allowed me to be successful within speaking, within entrepreneurship, within building businesses. And, I'm so thankful for it. Football was the greatest thing that ever happened to me playing. And, I'm so thankful that I found the sport and was able to, play at a high level. It took a lot of hard work and a lot of dedication, but being able to be a part of that, being able to learn how to do that, really built certain things within me that shaped who I am today.
And what would you define as your favorite football memory, buddy?
Yeah, I think the thing that I was most proud of was when I was named captain during my senior year. But, outside of that, there's so many different experiences. One game, for example, when we went to triple overtime against Louisiana Lafayette, I think it was just the University of Louisiana. I can't remember. It was either them or Louisiana Lafayette. One of those two teams. We went to triple overtime and played them, and that was incredible. But also just, things like playing at the University of Oklahoma when they were, number 3 or 4 in the nation, playing Navy and seeing the flyovers there at their stadium and things like that. Just so many different experiences that I loved and really enjoyed.
Yeah, and Aaron, a lot of people call me an inspirational person, and I simply tell them that I live my life. So I'm fascinated to talk to you about what it means for you to overcome adversity and really define prosperity. What does that mean to you, buddy?
Yeah, it means being able to accomplish my goals, create success, and more importantly, help other people as well. I think that a lot of people see success or see prosperity and they see it in this one bucket. They see it as money. They see it as, the car you drive, the home you live in. And yes, don't get me wrong. I think that building a business to create wealth and have money is very important. And that's one of my top goals. But at the same time, the most important thing is how can I make a difference in other people's lives? How can I impact them? How can I on a daily basis be successful not only in my business and in my finances, but in my relationships, in my fitness, in my health, in my spiritual life, and in my mindset, and things like that. And that's what success means to me is being well rounded and successful in all of those different areas. It's not one bucket.
Yeah, and I'm curious to also ask you about your fitness routine and the priority you place on fitness because I know it's important to you. One of the sort of mottos that I live my life by is always active because I believe that it's important to keep moving if you want to have any sort of longevity from a physical and mental perspective. So tell me, what does it mean to you to be active physically, and how important is that to you?
Yeah, I'm not playing football anymore, but I'm still going to the gym every day and lifting weights and staying in shape. And it's something I love. It's, if I don't do that for, a week or for a handful of days, then it, causes me to have less energy, causes me to be more stressed, causes me to, have different reactions. And I think it's really important to keep that in your life. The most successful business owners, the most successful entrepreneurs, the most successful people are the ones who, have strict fitness regimens, who go to the gym every day, who work out, who get that in. Because if you don't keep your body in good shape and in top tier shape, then you're going to perform worse, mentally and within your business, within other areas of your life.
Yeah, absolutely. And Aaron, as a speaker, I'm curious to ask you what it means to you to set strategic priorities as a speaker, because I think when you want to become a motivational speaker, it's important to sort of set strategic priorities because you tend to sort of drift if you don't have those strategic priorities set. So, as a speaker, what does it mean to you to set a strategic priority?
Yeah, so I guess question for you, when you say the strategic priorities, are you saying the things that I need to do to grow my business or the things that I need to do to perform when I'm giving a talk? And I'm happy to hit on both or either. I'm just curious what you're asking within that.
Yeah, we can hit both angles of that question for sure. Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, so the strategic priorities when it comes to growing my business, it's what are the most important things that I have to do today? What are the top 3, top 5 things I need to get done? You're not going to get 15 things done every single day. You might have 15, 20, 30 things on your to-do list. You're not going to get all that done. And so identifying what are the most important 3 things that I need to do today and getting them done. A lot of the times that might be for me is sending out proposals or getting stuff together to respond to companies. It might be finding new leads and getting in front of them. It might be dealing with certain things with social media. I don't know. It just depends on the day and the week what my top priorities are. Now, when it comes to actually speaking and my top priorities there, it's getting myself in the right frame of mind. And that is making sure I'm prepared, making sure that I'm hydrated, making sure that I've, in that right state of mind and have that ability to convey my message and get it across and add the most value. Because my goal every single time that I speak is how can I add the most value to others? And if I'm not in the right frame of mind, if I'm not in the right state, then I can't always do that. And so I need to make sure that I am prepared, I am rehearsed, I'm really ready to go and deliver absolute value every time I go speak.
Yeah, absolutely. And, part of motivational speaking, Aaron, as you know, is making authentic human connections with people and really meeting them where they are and sort of touching base with the people that you speak with and sort of connecting with them on a human level. So what does it mean to you to authentically connect with people when you speak to them?
Yeah, it's relating to their problems, relating to what's going on in their life, and really sharing my message and story. If I got up there and talked about only football the entire time, then I would only relate to a certain percentage of people. But if I go and I speak about, life, business, relationships, everything else going on, I can connect with a wider group. And so making sure that no matter what my message is, it relates to everyone and I can make a true impact is really what that means.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell me, what's been your favorite memory to date as a keynote speaker, and sort of your favorite speaking memory to date?
Yeah, I think for me, it's just, every event is different. Every organization I go into is different. And I think my favorite part of that every time, and I don't have necessarily a distinct moment, but every single time it's the reactions afterward and talking with, whether it be one person afterwards or seven people afterwards and hearing the questions that they have. And maybe they weren't comfortable asking the questions in a group setting, and that's totally fine. But having someone come up to me and chatting with me and telling them how it impacted them or asking me a deeper question, I think that's what I really enjoy most.
Yeah, and tell me, when you think about making a profound moment of impact, what do you hope goes into that, or what does that entail for you, making a moment of impact in people's lives?
Yeah, it just depends on the person. It depends on the circumstance. And I think making a profound impact really relates back to, how you deliver what you're going to say. And so making sure that I connect a story and a message to their pain points, making sure that I'm there to solve a problem and I can go and solve a problem. Every time that I go speak at an event, it's, what are the main problems you're trying to solve? First off, is what I ask, and how can I help you get there? Because I want to deliver the most value. And so when I'm going into an event, when I'm going into a company, a school, a sports team, whatever it may be, I already have an idea of what those challenges are, what they're struggling with, how I can help. And relating my message and my story to that is really important because then I can truly hit on the pain points that they're going through and make more of a difference and an impact.
Yeah, speaking of making an impact, Aaron, one of the reasons I wanted to start this podcast was I looked at the world, and I looked at the world and I said, we're much more together than we are divided. So one of the reasons I wanted to start this was I wanted to have conversations that move the needle of progress forward for societal uh, unity and both societal change in a positive way. So when you look at the world today, how do you think we can create more bridges of unity and really close the gaps of division that sort of exist in society today?
It's about understanding others and understanding the differences that we have. Every single one of us is different. Every single one of us has these unique qualities. And the first step is just understanding and realizing that. There's a lot of misconceptions out there with different people, with different groups. And, we all have these misconceptions. We all have these biases. We can't stop that. What we can do is understand that we have them. And that's 90% of the battle. And when you can go into a situation and understand that you might think differently than someone else, understand that might have different opinions than someone else, that might have these preconceived biases and misconceptions, that's all right. But understanding that you have them, being aware that you have them, allows you to then be noticeable of them and make a change because of them.
Yeah, absolutely. And Aaron, I'm also curious to ask you, what does it mean to you, building on your last point, to sort of celebrate your differences and really use that to your advantage? What does that mean to you?
Yeah, I say this all the time. I'm so thankful and so grateful that I was born legally blind. And if I could go back to birth and change it, I wouldn't do so, because it shaped me into the person I am today. And I think that a lot of us see the adversity within our life, see the challenges, see the disadvantages, and we say that things are happening to us, that we're a victim, instead of transitioning that into saying these things, these challenges, these adversities really happen for us for a reason. And when you can find that gratitude within it, no matter how small, you can use it to make your life happier, healthier, more successful, and ultimately accomplish your goals, no matter what they are.
Yeah, and Thanksgiving is coming up tomorrow over in the States, Aaron. So tell me, what do you think you're most thankful for in life, and what does the holiday mean to you?
Yeah, I think the number one thing there is being thankful for my family and friends, being there supportive of me, being there by my side, I think is really the number one, and I really appreciate them and everything that they've done and the different roles that they've had within my life in the past and the present.
Yeah, absolutely. And what's your Thanksgiving Day favorite, buddy? What do you like to eat during Turkey Day?
Yeah, big fan of stuffing and mashed potatoes, I think are probably my top two.
Well, you can't go wrong with mashed potatoes. Everything is better with mashed potatoes, right?
Yeah,
Ab-
absolutely.
Absolutely. And Aaron, my final question for you this morning has to do with your own personal and professional legacy and how you want that to be defined.
Yeah. When it comes to my own personal and professional legacy, it's, being someone who is able to impact lots of other people, being able to impact millions of lives. And to do that, it's continuing to create the content, be a speaker, reach out to new people, create new connections on a daily basis. And that's the most important thing to me is that one day I leave this earth, not only knowing that I fulfilled everything humanly possible that I could have done and pushed myself to my absolute limits, but I also impacted the lives of so many other people.
Yeah, I have one more for you. In terms of creating content, if you want to become a speaker, what do you think is the key to creating effective content that gets you noticed?
Yeah, there's a handful of things. First off, there's tons of social media channels and making sure that you are active on all of them, whether that be LinkedIn or Twitter, Instagram or TikTok or YouTube, whatever that might be, and putting out both content that is video and written that's tailored toward the channel that they're on and making sure that you get your message across and you're clear about that. I think, content in certain areas I've been great at, certain areas I've struggled at the past, and I'm getting a lot better. I'm revamping my content right now, actually, to be, really posting every single day, which is really important. But I think, getting video, for example, if you have a podcast, if you have this podcast, making sure you post clips from it, making sure you post it online, making sure that it gets out there, I think is really important so you can get your message out in front of other people and share that content.
Yeah, absolutely. And finally, tell me if people want to get connected with you, Aaron, and the good work that you do, what's the best way they can do that?
Yeah, so first off, my website is aarongolub.com, and I always say you can, if I can help in any way, email me, aaron@aarongolub.com. Happy to chat, happy to connect. You can find me on any social media. Instagram and Twitter is @AaronJGolub, and you can find me, LinkedIn, YouTube, wherever else as well.
Fantastic. Well, from one motivational speaker to the other, buddy, I want to wish you a very happy Thanksgiving. I want to thank you for providing your insights and perspective on motivational speaking, sports, and everything in between, my friend. Your work in the space and time on my behalf is most appreciated. And I want to thank you for being here this morning.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate your time as well.